Hi guys, this is Vanngo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I invite the beautiful Jordan left witch here. She lent me her canvas to create this fall makeup look for you. I hope you enjoy the look. I love this like burn color. I think it's just really beautiful on her skin tone. I think this color look on pale skin tone too, but I think it's just really gorgeous. I hope you enjoy the video. Give the channel always a lot of love. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and don't forget to follow all of us on social media to see what else we're doing besides just makeup for YouTube. Thank you. To start every makeup, I always prep the skincare first. The first product I'm going to use is Tatcha the Kiss You Lip Mask. This is a non-sticky lip mask. It contains plant-based squalane, and it helps to soften and plump the lips, and it's vegan. You can use it overnight as the lip mask as well. The next product I'm going to use is IS Clinical Youth Eyes Complex. This one is a beautiful eye cream. It helps to provide hydration, and it's very soothing under the eye area. It contains peptides and antioxidant ingredient. It is very lightweight and it's suitable for all skin type, but it's fantastic under makeup. No peeling, no rolling, nothing like that at all. The next product is IS Clinical Hydro Cool Serum. This one helps to soothe and calm dry and irritate the skin. This is great serum also when you go out in the sun or anywhere hot and you want to calm the skin. This is really great as well. It does contain antioxidant and botanical ingredient. It helps to hydrate the skin as well. It's for all skin type. I mean, even for blemishes or sunburned skin, like I mentioned earlier, that's when you go out in the sun. And you know, this one here for men who shave in the morning, you can use this to calm the area you shave in the morning. For face cream, I would like to introduce to you a new brand. It's called Yoi. And they have two cream right now. The first one is Impossible Light, and the other one is Impossible Cream. Interesting, but Impossible Light is more of richer cream, and the cream is the lighter version. I'm going to use the richer version today. This is not sponsored. I was just fortunate that have a chance to use the product a year before its launch, and I'm become a big fan of it, so they sent me some to try on for you today. And the great thing about this first is refillable formula. So the packaging is gorgeous. You don't have to buy the whole package, you just buy the inside, and basically it's like that. So you don't have to buy the whole thing again because the packaging pretty sturdy and heavy like this, so it's really beautiful. And this cream is formulated to restore skin and ease hyperpigmentation. And I think that's one of the reasons for them to send to me to try, because I always talk about my melasma pigmentation. So they was like, I would love for you to try these beforehand. I think it's like December last year that I received a package to try them first. And this is a clean formula. It does contain red algae and chipula for antioxidant, hyaluronic acid, ceramides, vegan epidermal growth factor, which is EGF, vitamin C, B, and this one does have a soft, dewy finish. So the Impossible Cream, it will have more a matte finish. And this cream is suitable for all skin type, from normal to oily skin, and it's fantastic under makeup. And you see that, always give some love to the skin, do a little massage, a little facial. You see that the finish of the moisturizer is really nice, and it's just basically ready for makeup. Even though both of the cream, one is more a richer, one a lighter, I do feel even the richer one is still very light feeling on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy at all. So if you want to try them, I mean, I would recommend to use the heavy one, because you see the skin texture is still very natural, it's still very soft. It's not like a greasy or that type of cream at all. For sunscreen, we are going to use Super Good Unseen Sunscreen SPF 40. This is, I think, it's like a beautiful chemical sunscreen, especially people who love primer. To me, this is like a sunscreen, but it feels like a primer to me. So it's very lightweight, it's invisible, and it's unscented. It's natural finish, and it's vegan and cruelty free. You feel almost like nothing on the skin. It have that feeling of like a soft primer, so it's great for you to use. And if someone who don't like the feeling of sunscreen, well, this is the one you should use. And it's really good under makeup as well. Like I said, it works like a primer, and I don't know how many times I addressed this, but sunscreen is the must. And don't forget to use on your neck and everywhere as well. I wish someone remind me about sunscreen when I was younger, so I don't regret with all the pigmentation and melasma I have now. But I guess it's never too late, but we should always remember to use sunscreen. For complexion, I'm going to use these 3 products. The first one is the NARS Cosmetic Radiant Creamy Color Corrector Reamers. That is maybe discontinued. I hope not. So I'm saying it out there. If you plan to discontinue, stop. You know, this is for NARS, because the other day, I tell you a funny story. The other day it was on sale really high. We all worried that it's going to continue, so we bought a lot of them. But I hope they don't discontinue, because I really like the consistency of NARS. I shout out now, so I need to stop them if they discontinue. So my team is laughing right now because we all like try to stock it up. But I hope you don't discontinue. This is a beautiful color corrector, very light consistency. There are 4 of them. I'm talking like a sponsor, so they have to stop, discontinue them. And the second one is Guerlain Terracotta Le Ton 24-hour wear. This is another beautiful foundation for you to try. And the third one is the Nabla Cosmetic Regeneration Uplifting Creamy Concealer. To start, I'm going to use some color corrector first. So Jordan have really gorgeous skin. I think this skin here, you don't really need to use all like color corrector and all the things that I'm using. But if you want the skin more coverage and you want to look natural, I would recommend you use color corrector, because the consistency of color corrector is so much lighter than concealer. For example, if you put concealer, like all the discoloration here around the mouth, especially people who have my skin tone or Jordan's skin tone, we tend to have this discoloration. It's just like genetically. So if you put concealer on this area, it will appear a little grayish for sure. So color corrector is basically you try to make the color similar to the rest of the face before you put everything on. You can use a lot more product in terms of foundation concealer. I got some comment the other day about why do I use so much color corrector when the skin is gorgeous. Actually, if the skin is really gorgeous and you have the discoloration, that's when you really need to use color corrector, because this means you don't have to use much foundation concealer. For someone who have those questions, you should learn that, because color corrector is really just neutralize the hyperpigmentations and the under eye dark circle and dark spot. That's when the color corrector come in. I put a little bit. You see that? See, just a little color corrector. The rest of the color of the face is almost matched, almost exactly the same. On the day she doesn't want to wear makeup, but she wants the skin look more even, see, that's all she needs to do. Just a little the color corrector. She doesn't have to put foundation concealer at all. And all the one that have the pigmentation, she just put a little bit of that. You see that? That's make a big difference. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So you see that Jordan never used color corrector. I just show her the mirror, what color corrector does, and she quite impressed herself. And she agreed. She was like, this is like, it look quite undetectable with just a little color corrector. And I would also recommend, if Jordan's skin is very similar to me, is that every time I have a pimple or anything like that, it becomes black like this. I think if anyone have pigmentation will understand the issue here. If you never experienced that, you would never know what I'm talking about. But you know, like a lot of times people who have olive skin or deeper skin, every time we have a pimple and it becomes just dark like that. So you can use a little color corrector as well and just neutralize out those areas. You know, that's not really concealer I put on, it's a color corrector, and it's actually helped to like diminish the color a little bit. And you can put like foundation concealer on after. But even if on the day you don't want to wear any base and you want your skin look great for grocery store, this would be a great way to do. And I talked so much about this NARS color corrector, they better not discontinue on me. The next product is the Guerlain Terracotta Lip Tone. So this is the 24-hour wear, no transfer, natural glow perfecting foundation. Jordan had beautiful skin. I already color corrected, so I just use a little bit only. This is a medium. This is a liquid to powder foundation, medium coverage. The finishing is just really beautiful. You see that? Just really gorgeous. It is long wear and natural matte finish. It's transfer proof formula, and it does contain argan oil, so it's added a great amount of comfort and hydration. You see that how beautiful the finishing of this formula is. And it's even they say medium coverage, but I feel like you can build them really well. You see that you just dip in like this, and the finishing just gorgeous. It covers so well. For someone who do not want to use powder, you don't have to use on this one as well, because it gives you like a semi-matte finish. It's supposed to set for you a little bit, but I still gonna use a little powder after. But I love the finish of this foundation. I think this is the closest shades we have, because we only have a few foundation and it's few shades only, but I think they are pretty close to what Jordan's skin tone. But the finishing, I think, is just really gorgeous. And for concealer, I'm going to use the Napla Cosmetic, the Regeneration Uplifting Creamy Concealer. I'm going to use two shades. One shade is pretty close to the foundation I have, and the other shade just like a one shade lighter. That one I'm using, you know, for the under eye, the bridge of the nose, just all the lighter part, just to give a bit more dimension. So for the lighter one, I'm going to use, I just want to dab in there so it's look a little bit, I don't want to go too heavy in there. And then the dipper one, I use a little bit, just pinpoint anywhere I want to pinpoint. Oh, and I want to mention is this is the new refer brush. You know, you saw me use all the time. They have new brushes with a black handle, with a black bristle, and I think this is fantastic. So you guys can try it. And also for the concealer brush. And you see that even like the concealer just a tiny bit different in the shades, but I think it's nice to give dimension when you put a little bit lighter on the under eye area. And this is the radiant finish, and it's very smoothing effect and medium coverage, and you see that it gives you that blurry effect, the concealer. And the great thing about the concealer is easy to touch up, you know, with that twisting sponge there. So for the rest of the area, I mean the color corrector and foundation, all the area I need to pinpoint, they are quite undetectable already. But if you really want go detail, you can use the darker concealer like I mentioned. This is the closer shade to the foundation, so that's where you use the brush and you do pinpoint a little more. I know there's people are gonna think like, oh my god, she's gorgeous, what else you need to cover? It's just because for me, I mean, I work on red carpet and a lot, and we always try to really perfecting the skin of the talent before they go to red carpet. So we see things a lot of time like normal your eye may not even see, you know what I mean? Like we see detail so much that we just want to photograph incredible, so we go with the light and everything, so we see like every little detail that we always perfecting it. So that become a habit for me as well. So you know, like I see things like I shouldn't even see, so we just go like pinpoint and we do all the detail before people leave for red carpet, and it become a curse that I see little detail everything. So that's what I just go do, a little bit pinpoint everywhere. But for your daily life, you don't have to go detailed like that. But if you want to cover pimple, I would recommend the way I'm doing right now. You do after concealer, but the concealer shade should be almost identical to the foundation shade, so it looks more undetectable. To set the makeup, I'm going to use Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. And the foundation, I mean, it's liquid to powder. You don't have to set them if you like that dewy finish, but I like the skin to be matte for this. So I'm going to set with some powder. This is just a beautiful powder. It's matte finish, it's medium coverage, and it's fragrant and cruelty free. I'm going to use Gucci Sunkissed Glow Bronzer just to warm up the face and bring back some dimension on the face. And the shades I'm using, number 4. In case you didn't catch that, everything listed on the description box. You see that I never do the swirl like this. I always just do a little bit like this. I think it's very gentle and it's easy to blend when you don't put too much product in the brush, and a little bit at a time. And this one is natural finish, and it is a beautiful coverage, so you just use a little bit at a time. You see that very little one I'm using, and this is a long wear formula. This shade is perfect on Jordan's skin. And I think like I cannot finish the makeup without bronzer. I think it just gives so much life to the face. And I know some people don't like to use bronzer or don't need to use bronzer, but for me, it makes a big difference on the makeup. I use a little bit of the bronzer on the nose a little bit as well. For eyebrow, I'm going to use these 3 products. The first one is the new Chanel Beauty Microfine Defining Eyebrow Pencil. The shades I'm using is Brun Profond. I mean, I could pronounce it wrong, but it's French. And the second one is the KS&Co Micro Feathering Brow Pen and the KS&Co Clear Strong Hold Brow Gel. You don't have to use a marker if you don't want to. I always like it. It's just personal preference, but you don't have to. You can use just a pencil. This is the new pencil Chanel just came out. It is ultra fine tips here that you can create hairline stroke, and it's long wear. See, but I use a little bit backward like that, like I normally do. I like it a lot. It is more a drier finish, which is fantastic to draw easy. I know some people prefer more softer finish, but I like the dry finish. And I think I mentioned in some video already, but I want to explain one more time for you about eyebrow pencil. For me, the eyebrow pencil that easiest for you to draw on eyebrow hairline stroke is the smaller tip, but also more drier finish. Okay? Because when people test eyebrow on the hand, it feels very dry and you can't really draw well on the hand, but the texture of the skin here and the eyebrow is 2 different ways. So the best way to test the eyebrow texture, best use directly on the eyebrow, because you use on here, you can never find the way the formula you like. If you find a pencil that really soft, that able to draw well on your hand, most likely it's going to be too waxy on the eyebrow and it doesn't draw very well on the eyebrow. I feel like it's kind of melt out for some reason, so you don't draw the hair as well as the dry pencil. So keep that in mind. Like for me, every time I try on my hand, it's not the same, but like this, it draws so nicely on the eyebrow. But on your hand, when you do it, it is quite dry, but it's just beautiful when you draw on the eyebrow. It's just another way for you to remind when you choose eyebrow formulation. And I don't think you would even need like a brow marker, but for me, just really just finesse them. But you see, that's just the. So far, I just do backward first, and then I do a little bit longer the end, and I just extend this here a little bit here. I'm going to do the same on the other side. I just did the same on this side. And you see that, I mean, I don't really think you need the marker, but if you want to finesse a little more, you can use the marker, just a few individual hair, just to detail them a little more if you want to. And then I use some brow gel to set the eyebrow. This one have pretty strong hold, and it is a very unique formula. It helps to prevent the color from fading from UV rays. For eyes, I'm going to use these 3 products. The first one is the Chanel Beauty Eyeshadow Stick. the shades I'm using is the shades like this. It's more a plummy brown color. The second one is Guerlain eyeshadow quad. It's just a beautiful eyeshadow palette. I think it's really gorgeous. I mean, this is in all skin type, you can wear them. And for mascara, I'm going to use the Lancome Lash Idol Volumizing and Lash Lifting Mascara. So this one is the multi-use eyeshadow pen. You can use eyeshadow liner anywhere you want. So I'm going to use them as the eyeliner and eyeshadow. So I'm going to do a little bit on the upper waterline. And they are long wear and they are very creamy and blendable. And then I'll use a little bit at the eyeshadow as well. And then make sure you blend it out right away. And like I said, this is long wear. And I mentioned in many videos before, anything long wear, I recommend you do one eye at a time. Like never try to do like, put a color here and here and then blend and you come back, it's pretty much set. So just use one eye at a time and you see that one doing. I just do this eye first. And you can even use a finger to blend if you like to. And then what I'm gonna do, see a little bit there, just lift it a little bit in the corner here. And like that, and you just blend outward and upward. Simple. Do the same on the other side. So it's gonna be something like that. I mean, to me, even just like this, you mascara, you're ready to go. You don't have to do much more than that. For these quad, I think this is just beautiful. They are pressed powder shadow, so it's very hard. Like you don't have to have a genius to do this because the shadow is easy to blend. It's a combination of matte satin and shimmer and metallic formula. So it's contained, like winter rose oil. So it's helped to softer glide on the eye, so you can easy to blend. The shadow I'm using is just like basically these here. So I'm going to do that. This one here, you see I'm going to do is very little. You don't need too much at all. And it barely have any fallout. So if you're gentle like me, you won't get fallout at all. And just a little bit. The color is just gorgeous, you see that? To be honest, like I find that the color on this palette is like, it looks better on the skin than even on the palette. You see that? I just do a little bit softer wash. And then, same on this side. Barely touch the eyeshadow and it's giving me a lot of pigment to blend. Next, use the brush. I use blended earth. I use a little bit this color. I'm going to do a little bit right here, just more depth. And just blend up a little bit. Very subtle. You see I'm doing very gentle hand. That's what you should always do. I'm doing the same on this side. So basically I just set the liner from earlier. It's a long way, it's not going to move, but this way you get more depth. And then you go back to the other brush and you just blend it out a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit of that color more. Do a little more depth here. And then a little more depth here. And then I got a different brush. So everything I do a bit more blended, even the color, like from one shade to another, it just really all blended together. I'm going to use a smaller brush like these two brushes. So you can use finger if you want to. Look out for me, I use this color here. A little bit along the lower lash line. like I'm just playing with the color, so I'm not like have a clear vision of what I'm doing. And I think that's what eyeshadow color is like. You just really play with them and you don't really know until you actually see it on the skin sometimes. And so me, it's like I do a little bit here, and then you go back to the other brush that you use with other color, you soften the edge it out. So it's merge the color a little bit like that. There's nothing there, but you just merge it a little bit there. Back again. And then back again. So you a clean brush. Okay, blend this a little bit again. That. Blend it out. And then go for that color right here. And I basically just like that. Just dust in there. And to give some dimension of the color on the eye. This, I just do a little bit like that. It doesn't have to be too perfect. You see that's a little wash like that. I'm going to curl the lashes, and then I'm going to put 2 coats of mascara on the upper lashes and 1 on lower lashes. I think it's beautiful. You can even make more intense if you know, like you do the waterline with a color here, you want it deeper, or even the shimmery color, this color here. If you make it a bit more intense, you can wet the brush, or you can, you know, like you can do more a wet texture as well. So you can do that. It's all, you know, you can play with the products a lot. You don't just have one way to do it. And it's all detail. It's really just like, you know, the colors, you know, you can play with them. This beautiful color eyeshadow formulation is really easy to blend. I mean, if you apply gentle hand, you would never have any fallout. For blush, I'm going to use Armani Beauty Luminous Silk Glow Blush. The shade is 40. We listed everything under the description box. If you can hear what I say, you can always find out. This is the ultra finely milled powder blush. You see, every time I apply, I always use very little. This is the easiest way to apply product. And then the best way also is easy to blend is like this. You don't do it like that. You disturb everything. I know I repeat every video, but I watch people do it. It drives me crazy. And because you disturb all the contour and powder and concealer, everything you want, it's easy for you to blend. People always say, why my blush is so muddy when I apply it? Well, that's how it is. You mesh everything together too much there. And if you do like this, it's just really gorgeous. You layer the product in there gorgeously. This is the Radiant Finish Blush, and it is creamy and buildable formula. And you see it just very little, very gentle. See the color, just really gorgeous. And then I'm doing the same on the other side. See, just very gentle like that. That's all you need to do, guys. Next step I'm going to use is the Makeup Forever Artist Longwear Skin Fusion Powder Highlighter. This is a gorgeous shade on olive or deeper skin tone. This is more velvety texture, and it does have intense color payoff. So just use a little bit at a time. And it's pretty easy to blend. And then I would do like this, a little bit on the nose as well. For lips, I'm going to use Dior Beauty Rouge Color Lipstick. The shades I'm using is 720 Icon. This to me is such a gorgeous lip shade in all skin type. And this one I'm using is the matte finish. They have color in satin and other texture as well, and I think it's just really beautiful color. I use it on people even pale skin, and I really like this color, so I thought it's gonna go with this somewhat monochrome look. And even this lip color, if you want more sheer, you can use a little bit, you can wear more intense. And if you want a red lipstick but you think it's too intense for you, this could be an alternative option. You just use more intense color. For this look, I'm using just a soft wash. Jordan have gorgeous lip shape. I'm not gonna use lip liner for that, and I could do more soft wash. See, I'm gonna do just a little bit only. And I just blend it out, because I think it's just a nice color to have a little stain on the lips. So I use just a little stain, and I just put a little back with some lip balm in there as well. They have the satin finish as well. I could have used that, but I don't have the satin texture, so I use a matte, and I just use a little lip balm. But I think the color is just really beautiful. It's like a nice little stain like this. It's just gorgeous on Jordan. To complete the makeup, I'm going to use Super Good. This is resetting refreshing mist. You can use it's the spray mist. You can use it's a setting spray. The great thing about this is this one have SPF 40. You know, a lot of times you can't really reapply your sunscreen. This will be the great one for you. You can do this because it's a fine mist spray, and it does have chemical sunscreen, very lightweight. So you just spray a little bit on. So this is like you can set or rehydrate the makeup throughout the day, and it's water and sweat resistant. The thing that I want to mention to you guys about this is because the setting spray have sunscreen in there, it's good to clean the nozzle often for your use, because when the product have sunscreen in here, it's with the spray, it's easy to clog up, so clean the nozzle. A lot of people just don't clean them and they keep spraying them, and they say the nozzle is like clogged up, but you should always clean them often because it's not just a normal setting spray, it has sunscreen in there as well. This is a great way to refresh your sunscreen and set the makeup at the same time. That's the final look, guys. I hope you enjoy the makeup look. Thank you, Jordan, so much for coming to the channel. And I hope you learned something with the makeup today. You know, play with these colors. I think they are perfect for fall. I mean, the color is just beautiful. It's that kind of burnt leaves. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I love it. I hope you always support the channel. Give the channel a lot of love. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And don't forget to follow all of us on social media as well. Thank you.